Okay, so this is going to be the part 2 video for exercise 8. What we did prior to our break was we created these squares and these lines and made them perfectly symmetrically aligned on the left page. And then we grouped them and we alt dragged them or option dragged them over to the right hand page while we held down the shift key. And when we did that, as long as it's grouped, so make sure you select all group. When you hold down Alt or Option and then you hold down the Shift key and you're dragging, as long as that pink line shows up in the middle of the page, which it is, it's centered. Okay, so this is our first master page. We need 2 master pages according to the PDF that we saw. One had a line going all the way across the spine without the dots in the middle and without these lines vertically. So we have an A master. You can even rename this if you want. You can double click on it. Okay, it's being stubborn. Or right click and go to Master Options for A Master. And where it says prefix A and the word master, if you highlight the word master, you can say to, what do we want to call those, borders? So it's a master page with 2 borders. This way, at a glance, you know what you've got. So it doesn't have to be called a master by, again, right-clicking on it and going to Master Options. You can rename in the name section, you can call it something other than master if you'd like. All right. Now, we're going to create a second master page. To do this, you need to be in the Pages panel and in the Master Pages area. If you don't have enough space, click and drag the little light gray bar down. Now, right-click and you will see the option New Master come up on the flyout menu. So click on New Master. It'll call it Master B, B Master. But instead of calling it master, you could say 1 border. Now, if you don't want to draw all of that stuff again, which I do not, you can say based off of master A 2 borders, and it'll automatically draw that in there. So I'm going to hit OK. Now on your B master, which has 1 border, you can go in, and because things are grouped, you may have to double click. Uh-oh. They're locked. The reason why they're locked is because we modeled it after the A master. Ooh. If you hold down Shift and Command and you click and drag, make sure you're out in the white or gray space. Shift and Command, click and drag over those items. It will release them, and then we can edit them. It's unfortunate that it locked them because I really wanted to go in there and hurry up and start working. Now, you can double click on grouped items to get down to the single items and start deleting the things that you don't need, like the 2 additional squares in the middle. Oops. Sometimes I have to triple click. And these 2 additional lines in the middle, you want to get rid of those. Now, to make this simple on us, instead of having to redraw a line and figure out how much space and all that, I'll just double click on the line till it finally shows up, and I'm zoomed in because you want to be accurate. You don't want to have a white space between these. I'm going to then extend this line to the center and zoom way in, guys. Make sure that is way in there so you can see. I'm going to do that to both sides. And you want to make sure those meet up. So you'll do that to the top and also the bottom, but make sure you zoom way, way in so you can see if you are actually hitting the center. Otherwise, you'll have a white stripe between the 2, or a little white strip. Now, if I had drawn this master page first, I would have just drawn the line straight across and not had 2 different lines. But since I'm duplicating what I had on my first master, so here's my first master. since I duplicated what's on that first master when I created my new master, then I can simply get rid of stuff I don't need and make it right. So we have an A master, which I renamed 2 borders, and we have a B master, which I renamed 1 border. So you can have multiple masters by right-clicking in the master pages area, and new master will come up. Now, when you click on page 1, because the first master page we made had a full border on one page, it applied that to the first page. Now, if I click on pages 2 and 3, and instead of clicking on the icon for pages 2 and 3, if I click on the numbers, it'll highlight both of them. Uh-oh, that's not the right master page. To apply the B master page to this that has 1 border, you can, let me see if there's a quickest way to do this. Let me right click and see if I can, I don't normally do it this way, this is why I'm looking. What's that?
I just right clicked on the letter and then applied 2 master pages and then just pulled it down the tab.
Yeah. Right click. You just did on one of them?
No.
Both of them? Huh.
Apply master pages.
Apply master to
And then pull
pages.
down.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, I was confused. So Kelsey's saying, hey, if you just right click, make sure they're both blue. Go to apply master to pages, and instead of choosing A, you choose the B and hit OK. Thank you, Kelsey. I don't normally do it that way, and I thought there's probably a quicker way, and that is it's quicker than the way I normally would do it. Yes. Okay, are you in the master pages area up here?
Yes.
Not selected on a page here. Did you double click in there? Did you right click and go to new master? You have to create a B master. Yeah, you guys came back late, so you missed some stuff. So you click make a new master, and you'll duplicate the material from A to B and edit it.
When I create a second master, that should allow me to select anything.
Okay, when you create your second master, guys, let me walk you through this one more time. Okay, I'm going to trash my B master. Okay, so let's walk you through this one more time. You're going to duplicate the A master by right-clicking on it. Or I'm sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, that's not how I said it originally. Get in your master page area and right-click in the gray area and go to New Master. This will be called B, and instead of the word master, we might call it 1 border. And where it says based on master A, we choose, instead of none, we choose A. We hit OK. Now, what you're having a problem with is you can't click on anything to edit it because they're locked items. Hold down Shift and Command and click in the gray area in the upper left and drag over all the items to release them because they automatically locked. Now, that's probably someplace really hard to find on any Google search, but unlocking an item from a master page is Shift and Command, and you can click and drag. So those are unlocked. Oops. Once they're unlocked, you should be able to now work on them, getting rid of items that are no longer necessary. You may have to do a few clicks to get them because they're in groups. When they're in groups, to double click or triple click, sometimes you have to isolate them to get them. So double click or triple click. Sometimes it's 4 clicks depending on how many groupings you have. And then once you get rid of those extra boxes, zoom way into where your lines need to meet up and make sure they align to that very center of that 2-page spread, both top and bottom. Now, are you guys learning much today, or are you just kind of, what I see you do, I'm doing, and I don't understand, I'm just doing it? You guys kind of catching on to it, or?
I'm
Okay.
Properly use master pages.
Yeah, so we're trying to properly use master pages. Now, I'm not putting page numbers on here. We did that on our table of contents for the other exercise, but this doesn't have page numbers. Now, when you click on pages 2 and 3, it will be the wrong master. It'll look like this. Okay? So if you double click on the numbers 2 through 3, that way both of the pages are selected. Then right click and go to Apply Master to Pages and choose the B instead of the A master. And it will get you the right elements on there. Wow. So for the last 45 minutes to an hour, we have learned master pages. We have learned also, kind of how to work with the X and Y axes. We learned about this little X and Y point, how we can set the 0 point. A lot of people don't know that exists. You can drag that around so that you don't have to worry about having to, do math and measuring. It's really easy. We know that double click on it makes it go back to the original 0 X and Y. So we've learned a lot about a lot of little things that make our workflow go more accurately and quickly. Learning it is slow. You guys ever heard the days are slow, but the years are really fast? Yeah. Learning InDesign is really slow, but once you got it and you apply it, it goes really fast. Of course, practice helps you too. All right. We're going to insert some graphics on page 1. That's the cover, right? So we've supplied you guys with the logo, so you can just simply place that. It's probably entirely too large, so you'll want to resize that so that it fits comfortably within that space. Now, you will notice on what I'm looking at here, I resized it so the T, which is the farthest left element, pretty much lines to the margin. And the E, which is more or less the right farthest item, it also is almost or nearly aligning to the margin. So if you're trying to be totally precise, you can just click on it and try to move it so they're perfect. But I don't think anybody's going to look at that and go, oh my gosh, you are 1 human hair off. No. I sometimes see that, but I don't think we're going to be quite that particular if you're 1 human hair off on that. So we've got the logo, and then we need to get their address in there. Looks like they're just using Icky Old Times New Roman, I guess, for that body copy, or that copy there. And we have a question.
So whenever I hit the WP and get rid of everything, it literally makes no page blank.
That is because you are likely on the wrong layer. If you are on the layer that has the print layer unchecked, then when you hit the W key, everything disappears. Okay, so let me show you just for a second. I'm going to get rid of layer. I'm going to turn off layer 3 because it's not my problem. It's not going to duplicate the problem. Let's double click on layer 2, and it says print the layer, right? Now, if I click off of don't print the layer, my stuff disappears. Okay, so the layer that you are currently working on has print layer unchecked. You need to make sure it's checked on. Okay. Now, in the Word document, did they put the address up there first? No. Did they put it anywhere on here? No. Uh-oh. They forgot. Gosh darn it. They forgot to put it in their Word document. I don't see it there anywhere. Shame on them. Things happen, don't they? So what would we do? We look it up on Google, get their address, and make sure we typeset it in here. Now, cool thing is we got the PDF that we can look off of. So and I think you can even highlight text on the PDF, possibly. I don't know, let's find out. I'm highlighting. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to my InDesign document. I'm going to create a text box, and I'm going to see if it pastes in there. Edit, paste. Oh, yay! I don't have to type all that in there. Hooray. Now, is it set properly? Is it the right font and whatever? No, it's Minion Pro, and it's not centered, but at least I don't have to type all that stuff. So the address is not in the Word document. You may have to reference the PDF to see where your line breaks are, so you can properly line break those. Make sure it's the right font. I believe they're using Times New Roman, but is it even loaded? We'll find out. Yeah, it is. Now it's not the STD one, but I'll just deal with that. You know, the pre-default one's fine. Preloaded default. It's just size it so it looks good. So and make sure it's centered. They're broken in the right place. Make sure it's Times New Roman. You know, look at the PDF. You'll see exactly what it's supposed to look like. Yes. Question.
Just a quick question. Is that proper, like abbreviation to have TEL without the period after it?
It's probably just a preference issue.
Okay.
Because fax doesn't have a period. Optically, it looks probably better to have tel without the period. So that's probably why that's happened. It's a visual preference. For me, I would, just for readability, if I were designing this, I would probably put a little extra space between those things. Not too much, but a little extra space between telephone and fax. And oh my gosh, fax, come on. I bet they probably take it by their website or email now. I bet they don't get too many faxed orders, but you know.
Except for maybe if somebody's in the office and the only thing that's working right now is the fax machine.
Yes, my email has a fax thing too, so I could, instead of emailing an order, I can fax it through my email. So, go figure, right? Okay. Once you get that done, make sure you turn your guides on so you can see your columns. We're going to place their beautiful pre-formatted text. Now, it's going to give us problems, I can tell you already. But we'll fix those problems lickety-split because we're in InDesign and they have paragraph styles. And all we have to do is edit them. It is going to be excruciatingly easy. I'm hoping. Let's go to File and Place, and let's go get that text. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe it's excruciatingly easy. So I'm going to get the cafe document, Bosphorus Cafe document. I'm going to click Open. It's going to have all sorts of fonts missing. I don't care. Click Close. And then put your cursor up into the corner. And if you want it to autoflow, hold down which key? Shift. Shift will automatically have it flow from column to column. Now the only bad thing is it probably gave us some extra pages because this is some whopping big giant text. And the tabs are all screwy. But that's okay, we'll just edit them. And everything's pink because it's the wrong font. All right, we do know that the majority of this text is what font? Let's take a look. This boring stuff here is what? Times. Okay, the majority of the text is times. So here's what I'm going to do just to make it easy on myself. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I am going to select all. Oh, no, I'm not. No, don't do that. No, because there's a paragraph style and I could just edit it. Why would I select all and make it all Times New Roman when I could just edit the paragraph styles? Ooh, I almost screwed up, didn't I? Oh, that was interesting. All right. Well, first off, let's get rid of the text that says the Bosphorus Cafe takeaway menu. Get out of here. And what? Oh, yes, and we'll kill hyphens in the paragraph style. Okay, don't worry about clicking anything up in this control panel yet. All right. Now, guys, this is going to kind of throw you perhaps for a loop for a moment, but because this PDF shows that appetizers, appetizers, the word goes across, oh my gosh, this is a crazy, oh, that's a 2-column grid, and this is a 3-column grid. Uh-oh. How many column grid do I really have?
3.
Yeah, maybe, but can you make a 2-column grid work with a 3-column? 6. Oh, yes. A 2-column grid, you can turn a 6-column grid into a 2-column grid or a 3-column grid. Or, what's another option, guys?
12 column?
Think about master pages.
Oh.
Can you go back to your B master and make that a 3-column grid?
Yes.
Maybe we can. Let's find out. Double click on your B master and go to Layout, Margins and Columns and make it 3 columns. Hit OK. Now, double click on your A master. Is it still 2 columns? Yes. You can have a multiple column grid in the same document. You've actually done that before. When we were doing sketches, we did, okay, we're going to do a 2-column grid, and the next 2 pages are going to be 3-column grid, and so on. Well, you can do that in master pages too. Yay! Double click B master, the B one, and go to Layout, Margins, and Columns, and make it a 3-column. Yes, Phil?
For some reason, when I brought my body copy in, everything has numbers on it now. Like appetizers is 1, soups is 2, and then it goes after that.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll kill that in your paragraph style. Okay, I'm not sure why yours has that and mine doesn't, but we just turn off the numbering in the paragraph style. Okay. All right. Now, this may take a little figuring out here, but we can attack this a couple of different ways. We could pull these shorter and move them into place like this, but that might not be the most efficient thing. So, because it'll put things out of order, it'll start putting soups in the same column as appetizers and stuff. It gets kind of crazy.
Mine seems to include automatically.
Oh, yours did? You must have had to enable layout adjustments turned on. This thing right here, when you go to Layout, Margins, and Columns, if you click on Enable Layout Adjustments, sometimes it will try its best to make this into 3 columns. And it's not, it doesn't do it all the time. It's very unreliable. Okay, so here's what we're going to do to try, just so we can kind of like go, oh my gosh, this is going to be a little crazy because it's not 2 columns anymore. Go ahead and click on the, oh gosh, there's a lot of stuff to do here. It's really messed us up. Here's what we're going to do. We're gonna work text box by text box on this because otherwise it's just going to create lots of problems. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete all of those text boxes, okay? Get rid of them. And get rid of pages 4 and 5. Oops. Okay, we're going to, get rid of that. Okay, so I didn't want to hit Command Z because we already changed this to a 3-column grid. Okay, so delete all the text boxes. It's going to take longer for us to fix that than it is to just delete them and start over, okay? So delete all those, the whole thing, delete it, anything that has appetizers or soups, get rid of those. Make sure you're still in a 4-page layout. And let's approach this a little differently. So let's go to File, Place one more time. File, Place. Command D. I do it so little I can't find it anymore. There it is. Command D. I'm going to get the text. I'm going to click Open. Now, do this, guys. Instead of holding down Shift, because we got multiple columns and some of the text boxes are 3 columns wide, some of them are only 1. It's just an insane thing. So let's do this. Don't hold down the Shift key. Click and drag across all 3 of the columns. And you don't need to have it go all the way down, okay? If you want to, you can make it like that. I'm going to do 4 clicks on the Boisterous Cafe takeaway menu and get rid of that. I don't need that. Now, Appetizers is centered. However, hummus, baba ganoush, eggplant, all that's in 3 columns. Oh, man. Those cannot possibly be one text box unless you do tables, and I'm not going to do tables on this. We're going to work in columns. So, how do I get appetizers to be on its own and centered above all this 3-column business? He's a separate text box. Oh, really? Yes. Squeeze out everything except for appetizers. Then I need the next bunch of text to go across 3 columns. How do I get that next bunch of text after appetizers to even show up? Click the red plus sign. It reloads the cursor and it is linking one to the other. I'm going to draw a box across the 3 columns. Now, how do I make this text go across 3 columns when I have one big box? Right here, guys. It's the number of columns area in the control panel. Right now it says 1, click on 3. It aligns perfectly to the grid because it's got a 1 pica gutter between those. Now it doesn't look good yet. I know, it looks really crazy. Don't worry, we'll get there. I bet I don't even have my fonts loaded. Let's see if we got our fonts loaded here. Let's see. It was called Dolphin, TTF. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to double click and hit install. I shouldn't do that. I should use my font management software. See if it'll even let me. And I'm going to click install font. Oh, shame on me. I'm being bad. I'm doing that because I'm in a hurry. Now, if you don't have the Dolphin font, you must have missed downloading it from the assignment. It's right here in the exercise 8. So if you don't have that in the stuff that you downloaded, it is here. You can download it and then get it loaded.
Hyphens again.
Don't worry about hyphens yet. We're going to kill those in the paragraph style. Is Appetizers the font Dolphin?
Yes.
Yes. Should I go up here and do it? No. I should not go up here in the control panel and make this Dolphin. Why not? Why shouldn't I just use this drop-down menu and go find it?
Because it's better to go into
Create a character.
It's already got a paragraph style. All I have to do is edit it. Let's go to paragraph style, see what it is. Heading 3. Oh, cool. What do I do there?
double click on it.
Double click on it to edit. How do I make it Dolphin?
Go to character format.
It says it's Calibri, right? Go get Dolphin. Guess what's going to happen to all of those that are header 3?
It's going to change.
It's going to change all of them. Oh, where's my dolphin? Oh, you.
Is it at the top?
Times New Roman future couriers. Oh my, where are you at? Should be alphabetical order. Or if it's got something like ITC in front of it or something. Oh my. I'm having a hard time finding. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Just for giggles, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make it dolphin here. See if it actually comes up. If there may be something wrong with the font. Huh. Okay, does it have special numbers before it?
No. I thought mine just kind of activated the off manager.
See, mine's not. It's DAU, right? Okay, it's not. I double clicked on it and I hit install, and then that did not work. Oh, I have to click. Oh, it says problems have been found during validation. Oh, okay, so I click on this and I hit install the checked font. Oh, it's probably got a conflict with Uther or this other font right here. That's why this window came up. Uther and Dolphin likely have the same font identification number. Oh. That's why that came up. That's why it wasn't coming up. Let me see if it comes up now. Yep, it's coming up now. Now, I'm not going to do it up here. I am going to edit the paragraph style and do it in the basic paragraph formats. There it is. Oops, I hit return and I didn't mean to, but there it is. I can deal with the color later, I guess. Is that all caps, small caps? What is it? Upper lowercase. Where's my PDF? I closed my PDF. Oh, it looks like it's kind of heavy. Looks like it's also that maroon color, which I haven't even done yet. So I'll just make it red. So make your dolphin stuff red on the colors. So I'm looking for colors over here. Oh, there it is, character color. You know, it's in the paragraph style. Do not do it in the swatches panel or any other place. Always edit your paragraph style. Now, you can't see the other ones, but it did the other ones. Looks like hummus, and the price of hummus, $4.95, is also dolphin. So I'm going to go into hummus, and it's heading 4. I'm going to edit heading 4 by double clicking on it. I'm going to make it also dolphin. Oops, I keep hitting the return key. And I also need to adjust the tab. You see how that $4.95? Let me zoom in just a little bit. $4.95, it goes to the next line. Also, we see that it has a leader character, but in the real guy, there is no leader character, it's just a space. Up here, hummus has no leader character. They didn't want it. It's too much visual information in such a small space. So I am going to edit this paragraph style. I always like to move it off the side because I'm going to deal with removing a tab, or I'm going to move a tab. The tab is set so far to the right that it's pushing the type down the next line. So we want the tab stop, right now God knows where it is. We want the tab stop to be right about here, and we want it to align on the decimal point. So it's going to be in a little bit because we've got to make room for the 95 cents. So we'll probably align that tab to about a pike away from the column, right column line. Now, easier said than done. I'm going to make it so I can see just a little bit better. So if I go to tabs, there's a tab set. Now, pay really close attention to what I'm doing here because you will get very confused. Tabs are very confusing, and this ruler is oftentimes not the most user-friendly thing. Click on a number in the ruler, preferably like towards the end of the ruler on the right, and move the ruler to the left, and Do it again. Oh my gosh, that tab is way out there. It's at like 36 picas. This thing's only maybe 10 picas wide. This thing is way out there. Let's just rip him off. Get out of here. Now, we need to set the tab. It's not set. It's at a default right now. Every ½ inch is a default. Now we have to click on the left side of the ruler where the little numbers are. Click on a number. Move it back over to the right so that we can get our column width to show up. The column width is the light gray area. Actually, it's about 8 picas wide. We want these tabs to align on the decimal. The reason why is because some of these prices later have they're like $10.95. Well, we want the decimals to line up. If we don't do the decimal point, they won't line up. It'll look less than organized. So I'm going to click on a decimal point tab, the little icon up here. It's above the ruler. Then I'm going to put my cursor in the light gray area above the ruler, which the light gray is the column width. And I'm going to pop it a little bit, about a pica over from the right. Now, if you look at the actual document and the typography, the actual hummus 495 down there, you can see the little line, assuming you're in the gray area, the little line indicates, hey, if you put the tab stop here, it will move the decimal point to this line. When I let off of my mouse, it does just that. So I am sometimes having to look in two places. I'm watching a line that moves left and right here, which is where the tab is located, but I have to set it in this ruler area, just above it. Now, I pulled it a little too far to the right, and the 495 moves down to the next line. So I am going to have to move it back a little to the left till he comes back. When I like what I've got, I hit OK. Guess what? It did it to all of them. Fabulous.
Mine doesn't go all the way to the line.
Mine doesn't either. The thing was that doesn't butt up all the way to the line. I know. Let's make sure there's no indents in space. Look, let's see. Space before. No, there's no right or left indent. We're okay. There's space before and after we have to clear out. But I'm looking to see, did they put a right indent on there? Nope. So the tab, if let's say I've got it at 7.3 or 7P3, maybe it couldn't, it's not real accurate. Maybe I put 7P5. Oh, that's too much. Maybe I put 7P4. Oh, that's too little. Maybe I put 7P35. Nope, that's too, oops, that just really screwed it up. P3. Let me do 7P35. Oh, 35 points is so many picas. That doesn't work. How about 7P3.5? Oh, he moved over just a little bit more. 7P3.75. Oh, that was too much. So if you're really particular about how close it is to the edge, you can sit there and finagle this until it's as close as you can get. 7P3.68. It's only going to go so, we can only go so far. It's not going to go right on the edge. And we don't have a right indent on that, so it's just pushing as far as it can. Now, there's no more leader. There's no more ... When we ripped off the old one and made a new one, it got rid of it, so we're good. My guess is if I turned you guys loose, you guys probably have this now. Because you know that this is Times New Roman, the descriptions. We know that's got a really wide left indent here, and that's not what it needs to have. If we look at the PDF, it's just centered. There's no indentation. So I need to go and edit my list paragraph make it Times New Roman. It's probably not 11 point. I don't know what size. Cool thing is I can always adjust it later. We know it's not italics, so don't make it italics. And we know it has no indent, so take off your left indent, take off your right indent, if there is one. There's not. And a line on your center, which is probably on indents and spacing. It says left align, we want center aligned. Oh my God, look at the magic happen. It is amazing. It does it to all of them. Now, obviously there doesn't need to be a space before this. So where it says space before, it's at 0. Oh man. Okay, it must have a space after hummus, and I need to take the space after hummus off. Like, okay, let me go back to hummus and work on it a little bit more. Go to indents and spacing, take off the space after, make it 0. Uh-oh, we still have a problem. I'm gonna go to layout or type, show hidden characters. No extra returns. Nope. Oh, how exciting. Let me see what's going on with this spacing. Oh, there it is, space after 0. There we go.
Did we leave the space before on the hummus?
I took it on 0 actually. For the indents and spacing on hummus, I took the space before is off and I took the space after off. And it seems to be working out much better. So it looks like the description has a space after it.
Yeah.
So I may have to adjust it a little bit. It might be too much, but it does have a little bit of a space after. Maybe P8's too much. I don't know until, if things aren't fitting right, then I know I need to adjust some of the spacing. Sometimes I need to adjust the point size of the font. There's a number of things that might need to be adjusted. Now, do you guys enjoy the fact that it's doing and changing all of them at one time?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, it makes our jobs easier, but it doesn't do our job for us. Yeah, Phil.
For some reason, I'm only getting one of these things in my text box.
One of
Like,
what?
I only have hummus, and that's all it's showing up.
Oh, it's like stuffed grape leaves is still the old font and stuff?
No, like that's hummus and its description is all I have. But nothing else is popping
You don't have a
up.
price?
No, it's giving me a price. It's just
It's
that
just
there's
no other
nothing else.
menu items
Yeah.
showing up on this.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like something like that. No, not really.
Whenever I try and change something, it changes all of it instead of like the section has blue.
Sometimes if you hit the enter key instead of the return key, it does a line break or a page break. So there may be a hidden page break in there. So, yeah. What I do in this case, I'll put my cursor after that backwards on you. Double click. Right after backwards.
Shouldn't it change all of it? Oh, it's because, wait, when you were editing
Yeah, there was a page break.
the ones for these, did you click on all of them?
Possibly.
Like, did
I don't
you
know what's happening on
Yeah,
your
I
end.
just clicked on this.
Huh?
I just highlighted that and changed
Not
it.
word.
That's why.
Rebecca.
Okay. That's fine.
Yep, that is why. By the way, Phil, you can download Microsoft Word for the Mac for free from Ivy Tech.
I've tried that.
Have you tried? It still doesn't work?
I'm not really worried about it.
Okay.
I can work around it.
Okay. Yeah, what was your software that you were using?
Open Office.
Okay, so guys, if you're using Open Office, say on a Mac, because you don't have Microsoft Word, and you edited the Word document, it automatically puts like page breaks between stuff. So that's what Phil's problem is he's got page breaks. Yikes.
All of the like actual menu items, not the description of them, but like the item itself to change to the blue. It's like changing all of it. Like I just did these individually, but I don't know why it's changing all of it.
Okay, so you want those to be blue, right?
And then the dolphin.
Okay, so that's dolphin, and then your character color is blue, right? Okay, and you did okay, right? All right, and then double click on stuff. Yeah. Oh, triple click maybe. Oh, it's blue. It's fine. Okay, so it's these guys right here. Feta cheese plate. Double click on that. Oh, he's a list paragraph. Did you select all and make them list paragraphs? You must have. Yeah, he shouldn't be a list paragraph. Now, initially I was like, oh, I'm going to select all of this, I'm going to make it times. I was like, no, don't do that.
Back.
Oh, you have to do it manually. You have to go into each one and do it. Now, you only have to put your cursor in. You don't even have to double click. Just put your cursor in there. Anything that has a price, put your cursor in there and make it heading 4. Yeah, you must have selected all and made everything a list paragraph, which caused you to do a lot more work. Sometimes when I do that, I just delete because you're at the beginning, and I will place it again and start over because all the work you have to do to get it back to where it was before.
I guess it was just about moving forward from
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to get people kind of caught up. All right, guys. Guys, definitely look at the PDF. Like stuffed grape leaves. Oh my gosh, the dolma. You see how they indented that? Also on Pepper Delight, which is known as Esme, they indented that. Oh, grilled meat patties. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite. If you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry, but that stuff tastes great. Oh, and Bosphorus Special, they indented special. Lamb Mediterranean. The name of the food item and the price was too long to fit on one line, so what they decided to do was they decided to break them and indent the second line. How do we get a paragraph style to function in that format without having to go in there and hit the space bar and do all sorts of stuff? How do we get that to happen?
Oh, it actually completely fixed everything when I went back in.
Because how do I keep stuffed grape leaves, how do I keep that aligned to the left and yet shift dolma in on the right? How do I get that?
Go into paragraph style and then some spacing.
Dolma has a left indent, right? And stuffed is not left indented. We've done this once before. Watch this.
It's the top left.
Left indent it. Okay, go ahead and left indent it. Now, to get the first line to go backwards, what do I do? My left indent is set at 0 p8. I mean, I'm not sure if that's accurate. What should my first line indent be set at?
It should be negative.
Minus 0 p8. Oh, you're like, yeah, gosh darn it, that was that thing I was having a hard time with on that other exercise. It is hard for us to wrap our heads around that concept, but it does work beautifully once we get an understanding of it. And it's an automated feature. Do you guys want to go through and like move that down the next line and if you hit the return key, it's going to create a brand new paragraph, which creates all sorts of problems. So you'd have to do a soft return, which is shift return. Then you have to set a tab or a left in. What a pain in the neck. So this may be a bit of a learning curve. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to do it again. I'm editing the paragraph style. I'm going to indents and spacing. I am indenting the whole entire left indent. Then I take the same number in that left indent, but I do opposite on the first line indent, the same number, minus. So my left indent is a positive number. My first line indent is that same number with a minus in front of it. And in a split couple of seconds, that problem is no more. So, yay! this is a spacing nightmare, guys. We think things are so simple and beautiful, and then we actually look at this and we're like, oh my Lord. Guys, look at this. Look how much space is here. Well, that's not the same as how much space is here. Oh, look how much space is here. That's more than what's here, but less than what's here.
Because the headlines are lined up, right?
Yeah, what they did is they tried to tidy this thing up so the headlines would line up beautifully. Oh no. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? It looks perfectly wonderful. And it looks like it's designed beautifully and it's designed accurately. They did a great job. But we're going, oh no. How do I get that to do that? I got an idea. Let's see if my theory works here. Just bear with me. Just watch and see if I can get this to function, all right? I'm going to shorten that text box. Uh-oh. That doesn't work because the next item is stuffed grape leaves, not baba ganoush. Oh my gosh. No! I wish that were the case. So when I get baba ganoush back up there, I'm like, okay, that's right. Hummus, baba ganoush. And then eggplant salsa is supposed to be up there, but I have falafel. Oh, Lord. I thought that the way that the client gave me the document in Word was perfect. It seems so perfect. But when I'm trying to get things to align and get the spacing really beautifully done here and getting those names of foods kind of aligned and really organized and have good design, I realize that I've got a bigger problem in that I have to get these food items in a different order. What's that, Aliasu? It doesn't look like it. What was that? Oh, if I hit W? It looks okay, but things aren't lined up. And this appetizer combo, which is kind of center text, it belongs down here. So if I go ahead, I'm like, okay, well, these are lining up here, it works. These aren't really lining up, but they're in nice order. So I'm like, okay, can I go ahead and put a column break there? A column break is what keyboard shortcut to get a column break? Break to the next column. Type, insert break, column break. It's the enter key. So if I just put my cursor before the A in appetizer combo and I hit the enter key on the numeric keyboard, does this look balanced? No. This is why a lot of folks are like, I kind of like graphic design, but it's too hard. And it's our job to make things look good. So, it looks so perfect and easy. Save what you've got going on. This can't possibly be due at the beginning of class on Monday, can it? So we'll continue where we left off here. Actually, you know what you should do as homework, and then we'll continue on. Get these things in the right order.
What is the right order?
Okay, so yes, great question. So, we know based off of this document here, and I'm going to leave it up here, if I want them in the right order, and I'm going to go with, this is going to be a box of text, 3 columns, this is going to be a box of text, this is going to be a box of text, and this will be a box of text, got a little off there, but we can do that, and he'll be his own box of text in one column. We need it to be hummus, the first item, baba ganoush, the second item, eggplant salsa, the third item, then stuffed grape leaves, tzatziki, falafel. So in that order. Oh, Lord. So what do? We go, okay, hummus, you're in the right order, but baba ganoush, I'm going to click and drag. We have to click and drag, but make sure we get the backwards P. So turn on your invisibles or hidden characters. So you get your backwards P. Make sure you hit the W key so you can also see that. And it is time to go. But if you will have to click and drag. We will cut this, Command X. I go right underneath hummus. I hit the return key and I paste baba ganoush. Then the next one is eggplant salsa. Oh, where's he? Oh, he's way down here. I'm going to grab him and the rest of his text. Command X. Put him after baba ganoush. Then stuffed grape leaves, then tzatziki, then falafel. Okay, stuffed grape leaves, yes. Tzatziki, right there it is. Cut it, put it under stuffed grape leaves. Falafel.
So instead of going left to right, just top to bottom.
Well, right now it's top to bottom, but I'm going to make it go left to right. I'm just getting them in order. I'm cutting, which is Command X. I'm putting it in here. Now, what's going to happen, guys, is when I get them in the right order, let me get them perfectly in the right order. Just right, Kelly Borek is after Fleb. Borek. Now, guys, what I'm going to do is I will squish this up. Now, there's hummus, baba ganoush, eggplant salsa. Oh, okay, now they're working. Now, when I click on the little plus sign, I'm going to draw another one. Here we go. Uh-oh, it needs to be 3 columns. Ding, ding, ding. Oops, it's okay. Stuffed grape leaves, tzatziki, and falafel. There we go. Now I need to draw another one. Make it 3 columns. Tabbouleh, fried calamari, borek. And so on and so on. We thought our day was going to go well. It looked easy, didn't it? But design challenges come to us all the time because we are required to have balance in our layout. And the only way to get balance in this case, and one of the quickest ways, is this way. They're aligning on the tops. See, that looks really nice and organized. They're lining on the tops. However, we'll have to make sure these are all spaced the same. They're all separate text boxes, but linked. But we'll make sure these are all spaced equally from one another. Oh, Rebecca just handed you something. We thought it was easy, but it's not. Okay, another question.
How come, should we have edited that in Microsoft Word?
I likely would do that. The only problem is because I've already edited my paragraph styles here. If I did it in Word,
It's not linked.
I would have to, no.
Okay.
And it might override my paragraph style.
Gotcha.
But yes, I sometimes will do it in Word if I haven't gotten too far along.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, nothing like the curveball coming at us, huh? Gosh, we're just moving right along, and paragraph styles paragraph styles are working beautifully until we had to deal with, well, layout.